All right, sports fans, it's another Friday, which means it's another Q&A with Alan and Marshall. I'm Marshall Atkinson.
I'm Alan Howe with Easy Way.
And welcome to our little show.
It's our little show.
It's the little show that could.
And still is. And how's it keep going?
I don't know. 158, 159. What is this episode?
I don't know. It keeps going in spite of you and me. If it wasn't for our sponsor, I don't know if we'd still be going. We screw it up. We
do everything we can to make a mistake, but we keep doing it.
And people keep listening.
Yeah. So like earlier this week, I know you guys noticed that I forgot to schedule the show until yesterday and it just got busy. And, one of the things I wish the platform we use, I wish we could just make a recurring thing every week and I don't have to do it all the time. That would certainly be an awesome thing. And, but we have to schedule it and maybe I could get my VA to do it. I don't know, but I just got busy and didn't do it. And here we are. Right. So anyway, so we're happy you're here. Thanks for watching. If you are watching, we would love it if you would do us a favor and say hello. So just drop a comment in and say hi, your name, where you're watching from. Yep. And don't forget that this is a question and answer show. It's right there. Where's the thing? It's right there in the title, Q&A, yep. Right? So what we want is your questions, and we'll do our best to answer them. Regardless of what the question is, we'll certainly have an answer. It might not be the answer you want, but we'll have an answer. And then also we encourage the people that are watching or listening to throw their 2 cents in as well. And that's how we can help elevate everybody and get some changing and get some answers, right? Also, if you're watching, we would love it if you do us a small favor and share that you're watching. This allows us to build our viewership, and we would appreciate it. So anyway, got some people signing in. So Charles is here, and hey, fellas,
from New Mexico.
Time for the weekend. And our good buddy Ray's here. Good seeing you.
Check this out, Ray New. Look what I got. I was at Ray's shop this week. A little Everett imprint.
Yeah, but you're not wearing it. There you go. You need to adjust the buckle. It looks a little.
Yeah, I need to look a little small there.
Tight on your melon there.
Yep, it's like fitting a hat on a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, you got a big bucket head, don't you?
I do. It is. The most embarrassing thing for me is when I have to get new glasses. I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's trying to find glasses that fit and look good on a jack-o'-lantern is what it feels like. So it's horrible.
Yeah. We were Jack and I were where were we? We were in Bass Pro Shops last weekend.
Not allowed to go in there.
We were looking at some stuff, and we went to the sunglasses section and trying on sunglasses. It was kind of funny. So
yeah, I'm not allowed to go into Cabela's or Pro Bass anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I tend to go out and I walk out with $300 fishing rods.
We saw the most redneck thing we've ever seen in our whole life at that store. They have evidently some dog event there, right? Mm-hmm. And people were walking in with their dogs.
Yep.
And this dude walked in wearing an American flag Patriot shirt, and on his leash was a wolf.
Honestly, was a wolf?
Cool. A wolf, right?
Awesome.
So that's just not something you see every day.
No.
Anyway, awesome. So thanks for watching, everyone. I think we're going to have a really fun show today. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in and spending some time with us. What do you say we run our commercial and then we can get started?
Absolutely. Our commercial from our sponsor, Graphic Solutions. They do such a great job, man.
Yeah.
They had a monster huge sales meeting this week in San Antonio. So
yeah. Great. So, all right. Well, here's the commercial and we'll be right back. Thanks.
GSG, the combination of over half a century of knowledge with industry-leading technology and the customer at the center of everything that we do. Graphic Solutions Group is a powerhouse distributor of traditional screen, sign, wide format digital printing, embroidery, and textile decorating. We are committed to our customers, providing support, educational, and consulting services. Your success is our success. We've seen these industries grow and change in our 70 years. One thing never changes: GSG's dedication providing the best products and services available. We've been around, we'll be around, from the highs and the lows, standing right here with you. GSG, the right products, right away.
All right. So thanks, GSG. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
So let's say hi to some folks. We said Charles is here, Ray's here.
Yep.
Also another Ray, greeting Screenlings.
Yep.
And he's also says GSG had a great open house last week in Oklahoma City.
Yep, they are. Man, they have them at all their branches, so everybody needs to attend. We need to mention Charles is from New Mexico. Everett Imprints, Ray Markey is from Flint, Michigan, and Ray Greenwood is from Oklahoma.
Yeah, great. And Dan's here, right? Traveling from Alabama, Tennessee to Mississippi. Entertain me, please.
Dance, monkey, dance. Yeah. And you know what? I was just in Alabama last week. I flew out. Well, I did the show.
Did you say it like Forrest Gump? Alabama?
Greenbow, Alabama. So I can do my southern twang. Mom's from there. So, yeah.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
I love it down. Hey, y'all, Alabama's a great place. So
yeah, I like Alabama. You know, I'm from Florida. I've been to Alabama a bunch, right? So
it's gorgeous up there in the Northeast, up in the mountains and the hills, and so as they call it, up in the forest. So
right. So anyway, thanks Dan for tuning in, and our good pal Mark's here, dialing in his new Cobra E today.
All right,
a picture with a crate the other day, so good to see that.
And we're going to have Dr. Sildanik on the show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, on the 9th.
June 9th. So we're going to be talking everything screen printing.
Yeah, and we're having another guest on that day too.
Yep, I believe Mr. Josh Wiley is going to join us too.
Yeah,
so.
Good. I won't be on the show. I've got a personal thing going on. So
and that's why we have to have Mark and Josh, because it takes two to replace you.
I don't think so about that, but whatever. All right. Hey, let's get our first topic going. Do you remember what it was without looking?
No, I don't. I didn't even write them down.
Well, it's company vision.
And
right?
and I should know that because it was a topic I brought up.
This was your topic, and you can't even remember it.
What you put the title to it. I come up with the concept.
Yeah. So, all right, Buster, what do you want to talk about here?
Yeah. So company vision. So, how we come up with these topics are usually stuff that Marshall and I have experienced throughout the week or through one of our clients or his coaching calls or stuff we've read. And I have a client that is changing his whole business model, basically, in the vision for his company. He has some offsite stores, retail stores. He does screen printing with multiple automatics, great shop, all roller frames, M&R equipment, iMager stuff, embroidery machines. And he has decided, not knee-jerk and not quickly, but he is changing it all up where he is going to be contracting most of his stuff out. A lot of the equipment is sold already, and not because they weren't busy, not because they're not profitable.
I know a shop that's looking for an embroidery machine right now if they have one for sale.
They are keeping their embroidery machines. So, it's not because they weren't busy. It's not because they weren't profitable. Marshall knows this. This is a client. We've become friends because of a podcast I did with Marshall way back in the day on one of your first podcasts.
Yeah.
Ever. And
Inksoft. The Big Idea.
The Big Idea.
You guys watch it. Do you remember that podcast? It was a really good podcast. And
oh man, it was great because I remember you had a thing. I think I was impressed because mine, I did Screen Room Secrets, and man, we got a ton of views off that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a great podcast. But you know what? You never know. This was a company that is in my local area where I have traveled for almost 40 years, and I had never heard of them, and they had never seen a rep at all. And this is not a small company. They were buying ink from people. It's like, oh my gosh, how can nobody call on them? But back to our topic. They're changing their vision up where they're going to broker out most of their print, almost all their printing. Actually, they are all their printing. They are going to keep screen. They are going to keep a little heat applied right now. But just changing it up, the vision of that. And I don't know that it's a bad thing for them.
Right. So the interesting thing I think here is I think a lot of people, especially in this industry, they have a label of how they see themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an embroiderer. I'm a screen printer, right?
Yep.
Rare is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, businesswoman, business person, right? Whatever title, right? And I think it's your vision of how you see yourself, the label that you give yourself, I think really matters because this is the lens and this is what filters all of your decisions through. For example, if you're a screen printer, I know a lot of screen printers that poo-poo DTF and DTG because it feels different, it isn't that, and whatever, okay? Your end client just wants a good-looking shirt on Friday. They don't care, right,
Yep.
a lot of times. And so we make these decisions, right? And, then we get hyper-specific where, we're a water-based printer and like that is better than a plastisol printer, right? Yeah. And it's just one of these things where everything is viewed through that lens. And because of that, we make some decisions that can be detrimental to the company, right? So, and the reason why, Alan, you were telling me this guy was making the switch is because he is having such a hard time finding people. And this is a huge problem in lots of companies and lots of areas. So if you live in a major metropolitan area, it's pretty easy to find people because there's another 30 or 50 shops in your area. It's easy to find folks. If you're in the middle of BFE somewhere and you're just more rural, it's harder to find folks that know or are interested or want to get trained or just the population density. It's really hard to find people. And I know this because I talk to shop owners all the time. They're constantly struggling with finding employees. Mm-hmm. And what this person did, based on what you told me, is they're revamping their business to really kind of contract most of the things out just because they can't find the staff. This is a business decision that's going to allow them to be more profitable, be more consistent, really in aligning with supporting their customers better. Because at the end of the day, most people don't care that you printed or embroidered that shirt. They just don't. They just want, if it hits the deadline, it has quality, that's all they care about, right? They don't care that you printed it or not, right? And so this is a really interesting concept. Not saying that everybody should do it because it's not for everybody. There's challenges with contracting stuff out. I was just on the phone with somebody just a minute ago, and one of their challenges is that their contract printer that does stuff for them, after they finish their project, will change the invoice because, we had to underbase that. Yeah. Right. And the challenge for my client is the fact that now they can't go to their client and get more money. So it messes up their profit margin. And what I said is, you need to build that up front that we're using an underbase or not before that guy touches that job. And that way everything is priced correctly. And we just need to redo how we do things. Right.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, so the point here though is how do you see your company? What is your company vision about what you do? Are you in alignment with your customers, in alignment with your supply chain, right? Is everything equal out? And because if anything is off, right, that adds a lot of friction to the process. And this is what this guy's doing. He's trying to get back in alignment, right? And I think it's so smart. I would love for you guys, I would love for you guys to comment about how you feel about this. What do you think? What are you doing if you're doing anything like this? You know, that type of stuff. So,
you know, and I think it's not an easy decision. When the company first asked me about it, they go, okay, we need contract printers. We talked about what they're looking for. And I only recommend people that I know are good and that I would send my own work to.
Right.
And I did. And actually, one of them they're using is Everett Screenprinting up in Flint. Right. They went up, they met with each other. You know, Everett has a great onboarding process, but I gave him Everett and I gave him about 5 names. And I said, now you have to weed them out. Here's who I'm confident in, that if it was me, who I would go to.
Right.
But yeah, you got to do the work. He wants it. He doesn't want it real far away because you can go anywhere and get a contract printer. But
well, not all contract printers are worth the toot. So
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and you know what? This company, they have. It seems like they're going on the right track. I talked to him yesterday. He says, yes, so far things are working great. Their last day of printing is going to be, I think, next week. And a lot of the equipment is almost all the equipment sold already.
Well, good. So we got some great comments. So our good pal Heather's watching. Good seeing
Heather from Cave City.
And Hurley's here. Good morning. Scott's here. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
And he also says, Marshall, is that really you? Is your AI generated Marshall? That's funny. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I posted this in Shirt Lab Tribe, but yesterday I found the funniest thing. Let me just show you guys this. So this was an AI app. This is my headshot. There's an app that makes it talk. Any headshot or whatever you can add. Of course, this isn't my voice, but I was just goofing around with it and I posted this. So check this out.
Can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, I don't know how to make it you can hear it, but
I don't either.
Yeah. So we need to work on our skills here. But so anyway, it was a kind of a funny thing. And so that was a lot of fun to kind of put together. And it brings me the idea of like, how could I use that, right, for an Instagram reel? Mm-hmm. Like I could have like a character or a model or something talking, and I put the script in, and then I could post that on Instagram, and I might be playing around with that, right? So
sure.
Anyway, so it's just another AI crazy thing, right? So, and then Charles says the big idea is where I learned some guy named Marshall and became a fan. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I missed that podcast. Well, you know what was great about that podcast is it taught me how to make a podcast. So, and so now I'm experienced pro podcaster. So I made a lot of mistakes with that big idea one, right? So
you know what? But it was good.
It was a good. But here's the thing: before that, I had never done a podcast before, and I made tons of mistakes and learned how to do it. And now I'm a experienced guy doing it. And so you just have to give yourself permission to make mistakes and do it. Like, don't wait around, just do it. Take the action and do it. Who cares? So
I think I was the first interview you did on it.
Were you?
I was the first interview, but not the first episode.
Oh, I don't remember. So,
well, I lost out to Dr. Coudray is the first episode, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I was the second episode.
Yeah, you're number 2.
Sure. Mr. Coudray, I'll be his number 2.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
it was great. There was a lot of views. It was informative. It was done well. So,
All right. So
what is Brian asking?
he's asking, was that made in Cynthia? Oh, I haven't heard of that. This is the app I'm using. Let me show.
Brian, did you make up that word? Is that a real thing?
That's a real thing. This is the app I'm using, which is called D-ID. And I just used the free trial. I'm sure they want me to spend money with them, which I haven't yet. I just was goofing around, digital people text to video, right? And they've got models you can use. I just uploaded my photo. I might be creating some goofy character in Midjourney and getting that thing to talk. That's kind of what I was.
Can you put like different voices and stuff?
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of different voices. I just clicked on the first one because who cares? I didn't want to spend any time on it at all, right? I'm sure I could go deep and spend and have a giant time suck with it, but I spent all of maybe 3 minutes on that thing, right? And so anyway, I thought it was fun, just one of those things, right? And anyway, so check it out, play around with it. I don't know, right? So anyway, let's get to our next topic, which was what? Which was sausage making.
Exactly.
How do you do stuff, right? So what are we talking about here, Mr.
Well,
Edwin?
I love sausage. I'm a big for breakfast. I like sausage links. I do love like summer sausages. And living in Ohio.
We're not talking about sausages, Alan.
Well, we are, because living in Ohio, there was a sausage called trail bologna, which is like an Amish one and all that.
Trail bologna?
Trail bologna. It was incredible. Now, what's the difference in that and summer sausage and all that? Well, a lot. Do I care though? No. I just want the product.
Yeah.
We could say ice cream making. I like ice cream. I love chocolate. I like chocolate chip. Do I care how it's made? No. Give me good ice cream. So
right. I think, in this industry, I think a lot of people show how we make t-shirts.
Yep.
Instead of showing how customers like or use the t-shirts.
Yep. And I think it's cool when they see the process, but sometimes we take the process into the sales and they really don't care. When your end user, they don't care if it's screen printed. They don't care if it was DTF. They don't care if it was plastisol or water-based. They don't care usually.
Well, there's some people who are hyper specific about it, right?
If they are, then they
educated customers that they really want a particular thing. I don't think that's who we're talking about. We're just talking about the general schmo person out there.
Exactly. But now my question is, do they care that it's water-based, or are they saying, I want it soft? Or are they saying, I want it sustainable? How sustainable? That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, well, I would argue that water-based isn't as sustainable as you think it is.
Agreed.
So
I agree with that.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole, because that's a 30-minute conversation.
If it gives them a warm fuzzy, then that's fine. If they're saying, I want water-based because they want the feel of that,
right? Okay,
that's different. Because if they're saying sustainable,
you can engineer plastisol to have soft hand.
100%. And if they're saying, well, they want something more sustainable, more green. Okay, let's start with the shirt. What are they using? Then use that. This all still comes back into the sales process, Marshall. I feel of what is your customer really looking for, instead of just vomiting the processes out.
Right.
A majority of customers don't care. Here's what I want. If you ask the right questions, find out what their pain point is or what they're looking for, and you're the right partner for them.
Yeah.
Now, if they say, look, I want water-based because of this, and this, fine. You've narrowed it down for them. But if they're saying, I want soft on a 100% cotton shirt, great. You can do that with plastisol. You can do that with water-based. You can do it with discharge. Whatever it takes. I'm not sure the customer cares.
Right.
And sometimes I think we get too much into the making of the sausage instead of the enjoying
Right.
the sausage.
Well, you got these people that I want water-based ink, but it has to match this Pantone color. That makes it really difficult.
Extremely
And
difficult.
but you can do that easy with plastisol, right?
Mhm.
And and really just it's all about engineering your print, right? And so we can start if you want, we can go deep into mesh counts and screen tension and all of that stuff,
But they
and
don't
talk
care.
about how that helps you have a soft print, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes it has little to do with the ink.
Well, exactly.
you know, um,
And it could just be an additive, like a Fashion Soft Clear or something like that.
yeah, right, sure.
And but I think sometimes we get more involved with the making of the product than the actual product of servicing your client. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Marshall? How do your clients do your coaching calls?
Well, I think you're exactly right, and we really focus on our process more than sometimes we do about what the customer really is trying to achieve. And I
Yep.
think if you ask better questions up front about what is important, what are you trying to do? Like if we talk about sustainability, for example, and somebody wants to order 500 shirts, you could say, well, is that really about 500 shirt order, or is it about getting a shirt for each person? And maybe there's an event that only 357 people attend, right?
Mhm.
So more sustainable is just printing a shirt for each person. And maybe you change the process a little bit up to be able to accommodate that rather than printing over, right? That doesn't help us because we'd rather print the 500 shirts, but it's about having a better conversation about what their end result is, right? And so if you're doing more consultative sales about what their end result is and the outcome they're trying to achieve and what are they using the shirt for, is this a giveaway shirt? Is this something you're trying to sell? What do you want the end user to think when they get the shirt, right? These are questions that can produce different results for the process that you're trying to do, rather than just trying to sell people on, here's the shirt I always use. Here's the production process they always use. And we're trying to make our story fit their result.
Their narrative. Yeah.
Your narrative. And I think, there's a lot of choices that we can have. There's infinite variables here, right? So I think if we did a better job sometimes of dialing things in and then also kind of understanding what they want more to build a product, right, that is tailor made to them, and you can divvy those choices up better, I think we might have a better outcome, which makes them a stickier customer. Not all customers are good for this. Some people are just commodity tire kicking. I just want the lowest price I can possibly get. That might not be a good customer for you, right?
Right. Exactly.
Especially if you're trying to build higher margins, better profit, more long-term stuff, right? So really dialing in who you're trying to get, right? So,
absolutely. And if you have a client, like I said, if they're wanting the whole sustainability thing, well, now's your chance to show talk to them about starting with the garment. Do you really want sustainability, or you just want it on the ink you're thinking? Because if you really want that, then let's talk about the shirt, from a standard promotional shirt to maybe you're going to a hemp shirt, a more sustainable cotton shirt with like an all made or something like that.
Well, there's plenty of sustainable garments out there, right?
Absolutely.
So, and also, if we're going to talk about sustainability, if you're advertising that you do sustainable work, you really need to have the SGP certification. I would highly advise you to do that. By the way, I'm wearing this shirt because my buddy Will Kulik just got his SGP certification. Congratulations, Will. He sent me this shirt, right? This is a shirt they made. They do all the shirts for the band Rush, right?
Cool.
Who, by the way, is my favorite band, right? So he sent me this. And so I've championed 2 shops to get that certification.
Yep.
It's a big deal. It takes about a year to do, right? It isn't easy, right? It's all about documenting and doing things properly and whatever. So if you're going to talk about being sustainable, you don't want to be greenwashing, right? I don't want to get it. That's a huge topic we can get into, right? But it's all about your process. It's all about what you're doing, your carbon footprint, your volatile organic compounds, and all types of stuff that we can talk about. But it's like one of these things where at the surface level, we talk about somebody wants a more sustainable option, right? Mm-hmm. You can be an incredible sustainable shop and just print with plastisol ink.
Absolutely.
Right? And so just want to kind of throw that out there. So we got some comments. Brian says, we became print nerds and overthink the process and overlook the use. Yes.
Yeah,
100%. Right. Quit overthinking things. Good point.
Yep.
Ray says that we saw many years ago with very high tension and perfect ink placement, you can produce superior hand even with a crappy plastisol. Newman one-hit white demo for emphasis. Yes.
Sure.
And then Jitendra is here. Hello, Marshall and Alan. You both are doing great. Thank you.
Thank you. From India.
Checking in from India. So appreciate that. Love seeing people from other countries. That always makes me happy, right?
You know what? And sometimes we don't even see them. We get so many listeners throughout the week, and we have to pull the analytics and see where they're all from. It's amazing.
You know who we haven't seen in a while is Ghosto. I wonder what.
I was just thinking that. And FESPA was just going on. I hope Ghosto's okay.
Yeah, so we should send that dude an email, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Anyway, so sausage making, I want you guys to be thinking about, your process and how you do stuff. And, your clients really don't care. You really don't need to show, hey, look at us washing screens out, and they don't care about that. Right. And a lot of times they don't even know what a screen is. I'll tell you a funny story. I was doing a shop tour once with somebody and was just walking them around and showing them that. And the guy goes, hey, what's that light on the press? Why does it light up like that? And I'm going to go, what do you mean? He's like, that red thing right there. What is that? I go, oh, you mean the flash unit? He goes, oh, that's the flash? That's what I pay for when you say it's a flash charge? That's that thing? I go, yes, it's that thing.
Yes, that thing right there.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I get it now. I'm like, okay, good. Right. So.
Now, Marshall, what we're not saying too is we're not saying don't invest in your production, because that's another way of being profitable. And you want to keep upgrading your stuff. You want to make the sausage better and faster and quicker with the highest quality possible, because that's profitability.
Better ingredients, make better pizza.
Absolutely. You know what? When it comes to ice cream, there are people, and Marshall, I think you're a mint chocolate chip guy, right?
I like mint chocolate chip. My favorite ice cream brand used to be Breyers. It's now Tillamook.
Yep. See, and I hate mint chocolate chip. I love chocolate and chocolate chip. But everybody I know that, like you just said, loves mint chocolate chip, Breyers, they said it's always a number one. And you know why? Because they use better ingredients.
Well, there's only 4 ingredients in that ice cream. Yeah. So it's good stuff. All right. Hey, so thanks everybody for comments. Keep them coming. Want to see more. So keep those comments rolling.
And I appreciate comments like Brian says. We become print nerds. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I have to stop being technical, Alan, and just help the customer going, okay, that's not important right now, in the bigger picture.
Well, if we think, what do we need to do, right, to be more profitable, right? So, you can screen print that, but maybe a transfer makes it more profitable.
Absolutely.
Also, maybe not even doing the order to begin with and just contracting it out to somebody else.
Right.
Because it's beyond our skill set, or it's a huge order that we know it's going to tie up all of our equipment. Maybe we just send that out and have somebody else do it, and we make the arbitrage on it. Right. So that's something that, I think a lot of people don't think about, because we want to keep everything here. Right.
Yeah.
And, back in the day, I would contract $500,750,000 worth of work out every single year, all the time.
Yep.
Right. because we want to please the customer and just make money on stuff. And that's how we get more things done. Right. So,
and this is how, I heard Val Solomon from Night Owls. I'm on an advisory board with her for an event coming up for Printing United. And she was talking about, as a company, I want to be the face. I want to be all things to all men to our customers. Does that mean they do everything? No.
Yeah.
They farm it out. Yes. Promotional. Yes, we do that. You need drinkware to go with this promotion? Absolutely. We can help you with that. And that's the thing. They want to be all things to all men. But the customer doesn't care that they're not doing it.
Yeah. Right.
So, correct.
So here's a great quote. No matter what you see when you walk in the door, always have to remember exactly why the client called you. Fix that first.
Absolutely.
That's your primary driver, right? Why are people even talking to you about anything? Right?
Yep.
So that's great. That's fantastic.
It's not because you use Newman roller frames. They don't care.
They don't even know what that is, man.
Nope. We do. We think it's impressive, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's cases like I know we get stuck on tension, right? But the shops that I've run, we didn't really use Newman roller frames, printed a million shirts a year, still tried to keep our tension in the upper 20s, right? Perfect, clients happy, whatever, but we didn't have to invest in somebody stretching the frames all the time, right?
Yep.
350 frames a day with 2 people, all automated, all, knew exactly to the penny what it cost us to do all that stuff, right? And that was a very specific choice we made. Could we have done rollers and everything? Yes. But the client did not care for that amount of quality. They just good enough was fine.
Right.
So, anyway, all right. And then Brian says also, I think showing the steps helps customers understand that we just don't push a button and a shirt pops through. 100%. But that can't be all you talk about, right?
Yeah.
So,
and they don't need to know they don't care about the details of it. When they show the process, that's what a screen. Oh, and when you have a sample of, here is a red on a black shirt with an underbase. By the way, you don't want to pay for the underbase. Here's what it's going to look like. Crap.
Yeah, educating your customers is great. Okay, I'm not saying don't do that, but I think sometimes we spend a lot more time than we need to, and what we should focus on is showing happier customers with their end product about what, how we do stuff, and that you do things for schools, or you do things for business, or you do things for rock bands, or whatever you guys are into. Showing that more will bring you more customers than, hey, let me show you how this thing in our shop works. So that's just kind of the point here. So all right, so hey, it's time for the pulse. So remember, check them out at gogsg.com. And today we wanted to talk about just cleaning up, right? So I think a lot of people can use products like this, which is this. Whoa, hey, can't do the thing, right? So right here in the pulse, so they have spray away crazy clean wipes. Right? You got 70 wipes per container, and this allows you to clean up your squeegees, your hands, all types of stuff, your frames, and it's an easy and good product to use. So check that out. You can buy it at gogsg.com, and that's something I think everybody can use.
20% off, $16, steal. And you know what? It's all about convenience. Yeah, absolutely. Great products.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's the little things. So
it is the little thing sometimes, Yep. All right. So let's get back to our discussion today, which is innovation drives sales.
Yep.
Right. And I think a lot of times we're constantly just doing the same things all the time. Right. So we're screen printing, we're doing embroidery, everything always looks the same. I think if we invest some time into learning how to do something just a little differently than everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. You can take that idea and market it to your customers to drive higher sales and different things For example, right? You could take a DTG printer and do like a pattern and then embroider the logo on top, right? Or something, right? So use examples like this and then take that to your clients to generate more sales with ideas that they can go, oh my God, that looks great, right? This could be in anything. It could be in a different printing technique, embroidery technique. It could be some sort of bundle idea. It could be with an online store. You set up a demo for them so they can see how their company would use a demo online store, right? It has to be with their logo, with their idea. Your logo here, that's just lame, right?
Yep.
Use their logo so they can make that connection. All right. Innovate, learn how to do the thing, right? Learn how to build the online store, learn how to do DTG with embroidery, do something really cool, and then learn how to do it and know that you've mastered it, know how you're going to price it, and then bring that idea to your customers. And it's the same idea that you're selling to 50 people. All right. Will everybody buy it? No. Okay. But there's a huge chunk of people that will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your company, easy way, Blue Water, right?
Absolutely.
Innovation, did something new, whatever. How much, like, I don't even know how many of those things you guys have sold, but a year and a half, 2 years ago, you weren't selling any of them because it didn't exist.
We had about one in the field.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? So my point here is you guys innovating drives more sales, drives more revenue, drives more product. You can't just sit and you just sell consumables all day, you know? So you've invented something and you're driving that, and that's delivering value to your company. It's the same thing for our listeners here, right? So if we invent something and we learn how to do something with what we have, the tools that we have on our plate, right? That's going to deliver more value. That's going to deliver better results for our customers. We help them. We help them understand something. Maybe we solve a problem for them. So like when you're kind of thinking about things, you know, what type of value, what type of innovation, how are you delivering something that's different than every other idiot out there that can screen print a shirt or embroider a polo, right?
Right.
That's kind of what I want to, you know, that's what this means. Innovation drives sales, right? Don't just sit there and offer the same thing as everybody else.
I have an example, and we can talk about the Blue Water one because there's an example that we talked about of innovation within their production. But our friend Marshall Joe Sudrovic from Gorilla Joe's, I remember about 3-4 years ago, he found a product from an ink company where it prints clear, and when it gets wet, the image appears.
Right. Yeah. So that's the Phantom Clear by Matsui.
That was it. Yes. Yeah. And he got samples.
Fantastic product.
Yep. He learned it. He learned how to do it, and then he took this. He thought about it, and he narrowed down his potential customers of gyms, and people wear the shirt, and he got it wet, and their image appeared. He said out of about 10, he pulled about 6 new customers from it. But that is innovation drives sales because nobody else is doing it.
Yeah. So take a heather gray shirt, print the gym logo on the front, right? And then bring it in with a spray bottle and say, hey, here's something for you.
Yep.
Look how cool that is. How many do you want?
And he couldn't do everybody's gym logo. So I think he made a generic one of it was like Gorilla Joe Gym and all that.
Yeah, right.
And sprayed it on love, and it was like amazing. And people were going nuts over it.
I can tell you that your conversion, if you do their logo, is going to be higher than if you do generic because they instantly can see them in it, right? Yep. That's what you want more than anything. And of course, like it's a one color. You could put 6 up on a manual screen and print these in no time at all, right? So
very true.
You know, and I know I've got tons of examples with my clients who have made samples for their clients to earn the business, right? Yep. You
100%.
know, I talked to somebody that I do some stuff for, who does all the T-shirts for the Republican Party, right? And how they got that business was actually doing samples for Trump when he announced that he was running. She made like thousands of dollars worth of samples and sent them to Trump Tower, and she does all of his stuff, right?
Yep.
And it still does, right? And that she invented the MAGA hat. That was her, right?
Oh.
So it's like, and it's like one of these things where that's where that come from, right? Whether you're wherever you are politically, I don't want to get into that, but
Right.
but it's like one of these things where she didn't put your political name here. She
Sure.
made specific stuff for the guy, and they bought it, right? So this is an example that, you know, I know that the payoff is huge when you do samples specifically for people, you know.
100%.
So yeah,
Absolutely. But it's
wet T-shirt contest advertisers. Yes,
very good, Ray.
100%.
Yeah,
We know where his mind is.
exactly. But you know what? This goes to show, no matter which example you think about it, they were not scatter, shotgun approaching it. They had a rifle approach of their customer, of the need, of the niche, and hit it, and it paid off.
Yeah. So just think about how much more sales you could add if you were very specific, targeting a technique, targeting a shirt color, targeting a way to do something, and learning to use the products that we have available to us right now, learning to put foil on a shirt, learning to use high density, learning to, like, Hurley does, Chris does, right?
Yep.
Learning to use this stuff differentiates you from all the other people out there. All right. And then you can clean up because nobody's doing that. Right.
Right.
And so just a thing, right?
I think the other thing on innovation too, Marshall, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nothing. Go.
I think the other thing on innovation is when you innovate and you start upgrading into your production too, that encourages your salespeople. So I have a client in Chicago, and it's one of GSG's clients too, just bought a blue water machine. Now, this company, Marshall, on there, and they have 6, 7 autos on there.
Yep.
And they're running big contract printer. They do contract, they do events, and this auto reclaim one is like the last piece of their automation, and they put it off. It was installed this week. The owner was gone. He was at the big Halo meeting, on there. And
in Colorado Springs.
Pardon me?
In Colorado Springs.
Yep, exactly. I guess he gets off the airplane, goes right there and calls and goes, "Well, how's it going?" And he's all excited. The production manager sends us an email and is like, "Oh my gosh, this might be the best piece of equipment we've had." He told me when I was talking to him on the phone, this is like better than any automatic press we've ever gotten. And they stay upgraded on those things.
Yeah.
Why is that exciting? Because now his screen guy, who has been doing it for 25 years, we were laughing, Ramon can now work for another 30 years. He doesn't have to retire on that. But they're getting screens out. He goes, "I can't believe how fast, how quickly, how consistent they're getting in." And it is just making all their production people are there. The people from their sales team came out and see it because now they know production's not going to be held up. They're excited, and that makes them more profitable, more efficient.
Yeah, well, if your shop is waiting on screens from the screen room, you've got a big problem.
Yep, exactly, because that puts your salespeople in a little bit of a quandary. Why is your order, Mr. Customer? Why is your order delayed? Well, because we don't have screens. They don't know what that is. You try to explain it and you're just digging a hole for yourself.
Yeah, right. It's like, aren't you better than this?
Yeah, no, we're not. We're worse.
Right.
And you know what? For Blue Water, it's a brand new company. You know what? I'm excited. We're busier and stuff, that division. We were like everybody else. We were 20 some odd weeks out, 11 now.
Yeah. And this was a result of COVID, right? You guys thinking about things during COVID?
Well, it wasn't even around during COVID. I mean, they thought about
like the planning and the thinking and stuff, right? Is that
it was? I wasn't involved in it. It's a separate company, but I think it's something they thought about, and then they started right around there. They, innovated the machine. And this is not just another Me Too auto recline.
Right.
This is a whole different way of thinking it. And,
right.
and I don't want to get into that, but, contact GSG on the Blue Water machine or contact me. And you know what? For us, it was innovation because we can now show why we're different. Everybody else does it the same, this way.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why we're different and why.
Right.
And it's showing it, it's driving sales, it's driving innovation. And for us right now, we're having fun.
Yeah, good. That's great.
But same thing for the customer.
All right. Our last topic today is recharge, right? So
absolutely,
this is a big weekend. Okay. And I want to throw this out there that if you're working on Monday, right?
Stop it.
Come on. Like, let's take a break, right? And we really need sometimes, we need some downtime. We need some pool time. Go to the beach, go take a hike, go play with your kids, go see Heidi or mom, right? Whatever. You need to spend some time and recharge because let me tell you, this is a tough industry, right? And we need time to take our watch off, disconnect the phone, put everything away, and just do something else, right? And so I want to ask you, Alan, right? This weekend, you already told me, I already know, but like, what are you doing this weekend? Are you selling?
I am not selling. I am actually not even going fishing that I'm planning on. So I have my house I've had for 4 years, and I could not use the back sliding door because it is a 4-foot drop off. And I have not had a deck or a patio put in until this week.
Yeah.
And I have a brand new concrete patio all built up. And I am excited, probably this evening, I am buying grass seed and redoing all around it. I have to buy patio furniture. I'm excited about spending the money on it. I get to actually move my my grill from out in the garage to the patio. That's and great. I am jazzed that I get to stay at home and do something with my house.
You better post some pictures, man. We want to see.
All right. I'll send them to you. I have some I've taken on it, but it's just a concrete pad. And you know what? I'm thrilled with it.
Well, it's the thing. It matters to you. That's what's important, right? I'm your friend. I want to see what's going on, right? So I love posting what I'm doing, and so I think it's fun to relax and recharge and do stuff and really just get away from whatever. So like, I don't know if you guys know, but I have a degree in art, specifically watercolor painting, and I haven't been painting as much. And so one of the things I wanted to do was to start painting more, specifically with doing outdoor stuff. So I have invested some money in a setup that's going to allow me to go outside and paint. And so actually tomorrow, one of the things I want to do is go find a spot and sit down and paint some Arizona stuff, right? I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just going to be probably something here in my neighborhood, just walk out to the park or something. But it's going to get me out of the house. I've got plans for it. I'm all super excited about it. I finally got everything ready because I know myself. If it's not exactly what I want, it's going to bother me. But I've got all the stuff. I have no excuses now. But I'm going to be doing that more, and I can't wait. I'm itching, right? I got the itch, right? So that's really exciting for me. And of course, I'll probably be posting what I'm doing. So check that out. But my thing here is that this is going to allow me to get connected back into what I like doing, which is creating. And that's going to be a lot of fun for me. And so we'll see what happens with that. Right. So anyway, so if you're watching us right now, we would love to know what you're doing this weekend to recharge. Are you barbecuing? Are you hanging out? Are you going to the lake or the river, or the park,
Yep.
canoeing, hanging out, just napping on the couch is a perfectly acceptable answer, right?
Yep.
It doesn't have to be anything adventuresome. It could just be, I just want to play with my kids or teach my dog to roll over it. Whatever. It doesn't matter, right? We'll love to know what you guys are doing, right? So,
well, and everybody's job is different, when they're recharging and stuff. If you're there, sometimes you go away. You go, and I need to go away and all that.
yeah.
I travel all the time. I'm recharging. I'm not leaving home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about
travel don't want to travel for vacation.
Yeah, last thing I want to do is travel and go on vacation. I was traveling for family stuff last week. I don't want to do that this week.
Right.
But you know what? Come not Monday, maybe Monday night, but Tuesday morning, I'm on the road. I'm going to be probably heading to Chicago.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what we do on it.
Yeah. Dean says, recharge, amen. This is a must. I need it. Preach, brother. And then he also, oh, great. We got Alan talking about his big deck now and Marshall asking for deck picks. Yeah. So there's a really funny, the comedy tour guy have a great video about, it was Larry the Cable Guy and
Foxworthy and Bill Engvall.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You should look that up.
Oh,
right?
so hilarious.
And then Frank says, we're taking our 5-year-old to the Little Mermaid. Awesome.
Perfect.
Love it.
And you know what? His 5-year-old will love it, but we know Frank is a big Little Mermaid fan.
Of course. Who isn't?
Absolutely.
And that's the new live action movie, right? Isn't it?
It is. It's John Wick meets Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, you know what? Frank is like us. Frank travels a lot. He does a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, it's important to spend time with your kids, right?
Absolutely.
My son's home from college right now and for the summer. And I was doing stuff with him last night, right? So it's kind of cool. So
well, and Arizona, I know you'll have your smoker going.
I smoked some chicken last night, and I don't know if I'm going to be actually cooking. We've got things going on, but
so I'm going to be looking at smokers. I'm going to in the future, now that I have a deck, I get to do that. That would be, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just having a place where in the morning, you know what? You and I have offices. I know you've done it where you just go out to your patio, Marshall, and work out there. I'm looking forward to just taking my computer or my phone and drinking coffee outside. And because unlike Arizona and Michigan, there's only a little bit of time during the year we get to do that. So I try
to get outside as much as I can. And like right now, the weather isn't like too hot. It's like 95. Yep. So like what I do is I go outside usually every day at lunch and eat my sandwich and read a book. Right. Yep. And that's how I get my reading in is I read during lunch. And I like being outside. So just it's different than the office. It's a change of pace. Get to hear the birds and get some sunshine.
Right. I was, yesterday the concrete guys were there and I was standing out by my, they were also sealing my garage floor, my garage. And so my car's pulled out and I was just leaning against the car, talking to customers on the phone and they go, why are you out here? And we were talking afterwards and I go, because it's nice out finally,
Yeah, right.
It's sunny out. I get to be out there in the sun. I don't have patio or furniture. So I lean out of my car, lean against my car in the driveway, talking to clients.
Yeah, great.
But yeah.
So Daryl is barbecuing and then also going to the Korean War Veteran Cemetery to remember Memorial Day. So that's great. Good job, Daryl.
And we need to remember Memorial Day is not about the people who served that are alive. It's those that didn't come home.
Yes.
And we all have, hold on, they're saying goodbye through the window. I'm still online. The cement guys. So
yeah, good.
They were laughing. They asked before, they go, okay, what are you doing? And I had to go out there and say in 10 minutes I'm live. So
yeah,
Seaford Construction, Seaford Cement, and Davison, Michigan did a great job. Good, and I will send Marshall. I'll send you some pictures. You can post them next week on the show.
All right. Hey, our last thing before everybody goes is I want to just throw this out there that speaking of innovation earlier, so I've got a new Mid-Journey print elevating print creativity newsletter.
Yep.
The first edition drops on Monday. This is going to be a weekly newsletter. It costs $12 a week, and would love to have you guys subscribe. And here's where you go, which is right here at the top. You can see it's just Atkinson-Consulting CK page, but Mid-Journey Elevate Print Creativity. Just kind of type that into Google. I'm sure it'll come up. If you need the link, just email me. I'll send it to you. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And the idea behind this is I want everyone to find a place where we can learn how to use this artificial intelligence tool and get it to print. That's the key. We can be designing some really crazy stuff. A chimpanzee playing electric guitar, right? That's a lot of fun. But unless we learn how to get it to work with our jobs, with our clients, with what we're trying to do, then it's just a nice hobby, right? So the whole newsletter is stories from you guys. It's me doing videos, it's prints, it's tips, it's prompt suggestions, it's how to learn how to use the tool stuff. It's a how-to thing. This is good for you, the business owner, for your art people, whatever. The idea here is I want it to be a community-based newsletter where we can all learn together, because this is such a new thing. And I think it's going to be a really good deal. I've already got a whole bunch of people signed up. So if you've signed up, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. If you haven't signed up, here's the link. Please get it going. And if you've got any questions, you're confused, would love to answer anything you guys have. So just reach out to me. This is my way of innovating, by the way. We're talking about innovating. This is me innovating. So,
yep, absolutely.
Anyway, so that's kind of our last thing today. So where's my button?
You know what, Marshall? We need to. So one thing we didn't mention this past week, FESPA was going on in Europe, which is huge.
Yep.
And I know we have some friends. Charlie Tyler was over there.
Yeah.
I wonder how that went. Maybe we need to. Should we have Charlie on the?
We
show?
Should have Charlie on. He could
just
give it
because he's Charlie. But yeah, and then get a FESPA update.
Yes, would love that.
I think you and I both know him.
I saw a picture of him wearing a KISS Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, so I saw that too. I saw him some pictures. He was there working at a Vastex booth, but I saw him with Feji from I know that I've met her before with the water-based ink company there. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then, of course, Michelle Kaza, Jack Stansel, Graham Richard. We could get Graham on too. Maybe have a couple of them talking about that.
We could have why don't we have an all academy panel? That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Even Mark Soldonic, even though he's the newest one, we could still have him.
He's still a pledge, right? He's supposed to be washing our cars or something.
I don't know. Yeah, no, he's on. So he is on there and it needed to be in there. So we're glad he's there. But yeah. We should do it all.
He 100% deserves it. I'm just teasing.
Absolutely. So cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so Mark says he's moving. Where are you moving, Mark?
Mark sold his house. So he had such a great house out there, but I'll give you the thing, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. Traffic in Dallas can be real rough. It can be like Chicago at times. And it took Mark just forever to get down to GSG to his.
Oh, so they're moving closer to where he works?
Sold it, of course. He did a ton of work, him and his wife, and they found an incredible house. In fact, Marshall, him and I were talking. He thinks you and I need to come and we need to do screen print cribs out of there.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. I'm sure he's going to feed us, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Mark is moving. I seen pictures of the house they were buying, and he is busy as can be right now. So it's never an optimal time. You know that when you were moving. Yeah. So that's what he's doing.
In the ass. So I
it is.
empathize with you wholeheartedly, Mark. I just bought a house and moved in January, and we're literally still have stuff we haven't unpacked yet. So maybe I'll do that this weekend or not. Maybe I'll put it off some longer.
Yeah, exactly. We feel for you, but we're excited for you too. It's also an exciting time. So,
and then Dean says, going to spend as much time with my wife and 3 girls as possible. Perhaps get some kayak time in. That's good. This weekend
right.
just be full of off-roading, but my kids are my life, and I love families, everything. 100% Dean.
Dean, where do you kayak at? Because I know where you live, and I know there's some lakes and some rivers there, but I didn't know.
Yeah, and he also says, hope Charlie got some deeds to the new F2200. Really surprised there hasn't been more coverage on that yet.
I don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about the F2200?
I don't know anything about it. So would love to learn more.
Yep. Well, it looks like we got it. Portage Lakes. Absolutely, Dean. So cool.
Great.
They're in the Akron area.
Portage Lakes, that just means you're carrying your canoe around everywhere, right?
Because you're portaging. No, it's out there just around the Akron area. And, you know, Akron is a pretty industrial area, but between Akron and Canton, Portage Lakes has some great chains of lakes.
Great.
There, our buddy Dave Harding from DCA we've had on a long time ago lives right by there too.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
And we will check you guys next week. And just hang in there, relax, recharge. Don't do anything that's business related, and just chillax.
But you're allowed to think and then come out running.
That's right. All right, everyone.
We'll see
We'll check you later. See ya.